All right. You ready?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Just let me know when you're in.
All right. 3,
2, 1. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Public Experience, and we got a good one for y'all tonight, man. We got my brother, Quameen, a.k.a. Conscious Brother Q, a.k.a., you know what I'm saying, the man who makes you laugh, but at the same time educate you at the same time. And that's what we need, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I want to introduce my man, Quameen, man. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. Good brother. I'm good, brother.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Pull up on me, man. Pull up on me. I love it, man.
No, man, listen, this episode's been way overdue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we said off camera, we just saying like in Cleveland, man, it really is a big small town, and it's funny because we're in the same circle. I'm like, why haven't I had him on the show yet? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, time is everything now. Yeah. So I'm glad we had you on, man, because I promise you, I seen the one you did today. The one you had today was cracking me up, man.
The Mike DeWine.
Yeah, the Mike DeWine. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? I really want to dive into how you come up with your content, how it captivates the people. And then if y'all can't see, by the way, we got the merchandise that
oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They repping the set, man. I love it, man. They repping the set.
You repping it, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, I love brands. If y'all ever see the episode, I literally have all my hoodies say something about black this, black that, and this only makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I invest in black. Now I mean what I say. You know what I'm saying? And I love this right here because we love brothers and love sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
So we're gonna talk about that also. But without further ado, my man Q tonight.
Oh yeah. So I think, man, we're talking about the inspiration for just the video.
So you know what? Like let's start from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
I know you said earlier you are from all around Cleveland.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
So it's about growing up. Did you always say to yourself, I want to be that person that creates something gonna entertain, or where would it stem from?
No, man. So a lot of people don't know. A lot of people do because they either know me from stand up comedy too. Mm-hmm. Like I did stand up for some years, like in college specifically. Mm-hmm. And so
where did you go to college at?
I went to CSU. Yep, I graduated from Cleveland State. Yep. So graduated from Caucasoid State University, but we'll get back to that later.
We'll
okay?
Get back to that. Okay, cool.
But I graduated from CSU, man. I started doing comedy there and on campus, and then it went off campus. Like, man, you could really do that. I really got pushed into it. They had an open mic night, man, and I was always, I've been funny. It was like $1,000. You a college kid. You like, I'll find something. I'll find some funny for $1,000.
Right.
So I ended up winning that, man, and taking it off campus, and that's where it went. As a kid, I never was like, man, I'm gonna be the best stand-up comedian ever. I always loved sketch, satire, parody, like that type of comedy. I was watching.
I was going to ask you, what were you watching?
Man, I'm talking about
Living Color,
Living Color, Mad TV, SNL, Big Chuck and Lil Jon. If you're from the city, I'm talking about.
Shout to them,
I would even see, Carol Burnett. Like, now that's old.
Oh, I'm about to say, bro.
That's old. But still, like, I just love, whose line is it anyway? And then when Dave Chappelle hit the scene, that just captivated my heart. And when he went offline, I was even watching Key and Peele. Yeah. Keenan and Kel. Like, man, anything you name, man, I loved it, man. Like, so sketch comedy was always my thing, man. That's always where my heart was. Satire, parodies, like that. And so when you...
So, my bad, because, you know what I'm saying? Marquita's not here, but I'm pretty sure she watched. She'll know what satire means. You got to explain it for her.
So it's just like it's like comedy with a message.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or comedy that has like a background meaning. When you think about satire comedy, you think about like Boondocks and Dave Chappelle, stuff that like comedy with a meaning behind. Because people be like, "Oh, you don't do comedy no more." It's like, yeah, I still do comedy. I just don't do stand up. I always draw parallels of comedy to like hip hop. Like, it's like hip hop is DJing, MCing, graffiti, breakdancing. When you think about the origins of hip hop. Right. Same thing with comedy. It's like parodies, satire. Weird Al Yankovic, like he's one of the top guys for like parodies. So when you think about that, it's like stand up as an art form, skits and parodies, satire, all of that type of stuff. The shows, like that's all comedy. Yeah.
No, I'm about to say like so. I know for me back in high school when Dave Chappelle hit, we used to watch Dave Chappelle all the time.
Man,
all the time. We watched 3, 4, 5 times. You know what I'm saying? We said line for line, and I think during our generation, you know what I'm saying? That did something for us that put us in a conscious mode of thinking, okay, I can be funny, but at the same time, I can hit you over the head with something that's going to make you think. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's why I love your content, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
So we got college, then we got we got high school, and then so when did you say okay? Where you were so during the early days, we got the MySpace, we got the Tumblr, we got we got all those. when did you say I'm going to create content that's going to captivate people and whatnot?
Man, I would say I had always been doing like remixing songs and parodies and stuff since I was a kid. Like for real, like I remember that Biggie Small song, Big Papa. I had remixed that in like the 4th or 5th grade, and like people always love it. They be like, "Do the Biggie," you know, you a short, chubby, you know what I'm saying, black kid. It's like they're like, "Man, do the Biggie, Q, do the Biggie." Like so, but have been doing that for so long. I'm talking about as a kid, and so I think like a little bit post college. I have started doing skits with, not post-college, but around my last years of college, I actually started putting them on, like, video. I had did them before, but they wasn't, like, you know, it wasn't on, like, a platform or anything. Okay. But when Instagram hit the scene, Twitter and all of that, like, I started doing, my first skits was with Cornell. Like, in Cornell, they got big.
So, no, time out, because I want everybody to know, because Cornell's doing it. Y'all not familiar with Cornell. He is a, once again, content creator, whatnot. He moved out to California. He's from Cleveland State. I remember I watched an interview and whatnot. And shout out to that brother because, once again, he went after what he said he's going to do. And now, if y'all haven't, check him out or whatnot.
Yeah, man. Like, so he was like, when we was doing them, we had about 4 or 5 skits together. If you look at my page now, if you go to the very first video before I graduated, it's like skits with me and Cornell. And so he was like, man, I'm about to move. And, I'm about to go, like, man, you should come, like, dude, we'll like, be roommates, whatever. I was like, man, I got to graduate. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Every excuse, but he was like, all right, man, but dude, he, like, put it on the line and bounced and, you know what I'm saying, took that gamble. But definitely, man, like, I started, like, so social media wise, that's where I started like doing the skits with him, and then just did a few on my own, like on and off. It was sporadic because I'm like, first of all, I'm trying to graduate. Like, I've been in school too long. Man, I have been in school so long, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I got to get a job and whatnot too. So, but I was working at a university, so I had like chilled a little bit on the skits because I didn't know who was following my page and all of that. But yeah, and I linked up with B and started doing skits again. B Titty, man, my brother B Titty. Shout out to Brian, man. Shout out to B Titty, man, and yeah, we started rolling from there, man. Yep.
So let me ask you this, because a lot of people think you just wake up and you already have the, you know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, let's put it together real quick. What goes into creating content that captivates or whatnot?
I think that what goes into like when I'm thinking about a skit or doing a skit is really the perspective that can be drawn out of something that they may not see it as funny, but how can you can educate, because like by profession, I am an educator. You know what I'm saying? So you can, dope. So I just call it kind of like edutainment. And you can literally like educate somebody with a different perspective, or you can just put the truth in with a little bit of funny. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what comedy is. Like that's why people laugh at certain things, because it's like, even though it's sometimes like as an artist meaning like comedian, like you're exaggerating the truth or something, you're saying something to conjugate the truth, like you can literally like, you know, put that in there. So that perspective of, you know, just something that might have happened like on that spot funny, like you looking at the funny side of it. And it's also, when you think about it as a kid, for me, it was like, it's really drawn from a survival instinct too, because like me going from, I went to 8 different schools in CMSD. Yeah, I went to 8 different schools, right? And I lived in a couple of different neighborhoods, but I mostly grew up on the 105 area. But I went to so many different schools, man, and I had to constantly pick up and like, you know, drop my friends from here and then reinvent myself or like adjust to this new place. Because it might have been, you know, on a west side school and I was living on Kinsman, or, you know, going to a school that was up the way and I was staying like down the way. You know what I'm saying? So it's different neighborhoods. And then when I went to MLK and we was living on 105, and it's like Huff, Superior, St. Clair, all them people up in there. And it's like, you know, you got to find your way to keep it funny. Like you got to stay safe.
Talking about, because you know, it's crazy. More demographics not even from Cleveland. So I was wondering.
Word.
Okay. Educate the people on just Cleveland dynamics and Cleveland demographics. There's up the way and there's down the way. You know what I'm saying? There's the west side. Right. And if you are caught from up the way, down the way, just make sure you just let them know, like, hey, man, I got a cousin over here.
Right, that's what I had to do, man. Like, you get caught in, you know how it is. You get caught in a neighborhood. Like, I remember at the bus stop. That's what I'm saying. That's funny. Like, being at a bus stop, it was like DuPont. It's some Morris Black guys. That's a project over there. It was like, where you from? I was like, where you from? Somebody say, I'm from down the way. I'm from down that way too.
Right. Where you from? I'm from there. I'm from down that way. I'm from around that way too.
It's a survival thing, man. It's like, twin? Every hood got a twin. You're like, twin, don't you? Every hood got a twin. So, everybody man, it's really like, it's really a survival thing too. I have to think on my feet and adjust. Like, that was like almost like not life or death, but it was like life or death. Like being in different schools and in different neighborhoods, and so you had to be quick on your feet, man. So I would say that's where the root of it kind of came from.
That's what's up, though. That's what's up. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. With that being said, because I understand, because my sister, she right over here. How many schools we go to? Like, we've been all over Cleveland, too, and whatnot. Right. So I feel what you're saying and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like you said, how to become adaptable and then be able to withstand the ties of where you at, you know what I'm saying? So you don't get washed away with that. So I feel that component. But so the consciousness part, because you got different comedies, right? Yeah. We got the Dave Chappelle's, we have some more Lil Duval. Everyone had their type of comedy, right? Yeah. Where did your type of comedy deviate from or whatnot? Because I know, like you said, satire comedy, but one thing I like about Dave Chappelle and the Dave Chappelle Show, once again, every skit, it was funny, but it meant something more.
Right.
Like my favorite skit of all time is when he said when black people got reparations, what they would do.
What they would do, yeah.
And the fact that at the end he was like the white anchor was like they literally just getting money right back to us.
They're just gonna give us the money right back to us, man. Yeah.
And in 11th grade, to me, that was like wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was real.
Yeah, that's real.
It was real.
Yeah.
So with that being said, would you say your type of comedy stemmed from that, or did it come from being around certain groups of certain type of people?
Man, definitely. I would say where mine was drawn from was obviously, like when you look at any comedian, any comedic artist or whatever, anybody in that lane is really drawn from their experience. And those are the best comedians. Like the best comedians usually they're very good orators. Like they speak well and they can tell good stories. When you think about the top guys, they tell good stories. You have guys who shoot from the hip and whatnot, but those are the best, and they're drawn from their experiences, like real experience, people who are well traveled. Most of those comedians are well read. Like they have and they have a lot of experiences outside of the scope of where they came from, and so I would say definitely it was my experience, man. Like growing up, when I was doing stand-up, that's what a lot of my stuff was like my experience in college. A lot of my material was my experience in college, like what I was going through, being in school for a long time, pledging a fraternity, being at a metropolitan type of school, like transferring from a community college, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of it came from there, living in the dorms versus living, like, in the hood where I grew up at, like all of that stuff. So, yeah, man. Yeah.
And one of the things I can say, because like I say, I'm a big fan of comedy. Like if I'm having a hard day, you will catch me watching stand up, right? Yeah. But every comedian I ever watched in an interview, like Eddie Murphy says that he's more of a dramatic actor than he is as a comedian. He said he draws comedy from traumatic experiences or whatnot.
Right.
So with that being said, would you say that's where you draw some of your comedy from?
I would say, looking at some of my old material when I was doing stand up, I would definitely say that's where it came from. Like, because remember what I talked about, survival. Like, it was that survival. I'm talking about, like, how we grew up. A lot of that stuff, like me being, for instance, I say the youngest of 5 children, but the only boy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. So I would talk about that too, and just like, or like I had jokes about my father and all of that stuff too. So it was definitely like where I drew a lot of that inspiration from my earlier material from, for sure. For sure.
So okay, so I want to ask this question because one of the things if y'all haven't seen any Q's videos, y'all got to, because it's dope stuff. But one of the things I want to give you a flowers for, bro, is that you are big in collaboration too, man.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because I can say this. I work with some people, and I don't know name now, and no shit on anybody, but egos sometimes get involved, right?
Oh, for sure.
How are you able to collaborate with people and egos not be, clashing, or come together to do a project that benefits all those involved?
Man, we talk about that all the time, man. Like me and B, like that's why I love working with B Titty, because he, you know, me and B, man, we just click, man. We don't argue about nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and then there's a lot of guys in the city who, that whole humility, like we had a group called Humble Hands, like, and that it was
That's
like,
dope, by the way.
yeah, it was Humble Hands. It was like, so it came from this dude that B, you know, he one of the singers, man, in the city, man. And he, you know, when you give a dude praise, like, man, dude, you tore that show down. He just like, hey, man, thank you.
I remember that skit.
Thank you, man. Hey, man. Thank you. But it was based off of a real dude. So it was a group that, like, everybody was giving us props, man. We you know, we do something funny, man. Like, you see somebody out. But that really, man, like, when you think about a lot, like, so it's not like a lot of people who are, like, in the city right now, I wouldn't say. Like, it's a lot of dope, like, content creators in the city. Mm-hmm. And I think one thing too is just like, do our material mesh well? Because I used to be like, man, you know, I work with it. Let's do it. Let's work with anybody. But if our material, like our content, don't mesh well, it's just like, I don't see nothing wrong being like, nah, I can't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really rock with it. But like I told Ron, Haber Flex, I'm like, bro, that was like,
shout out to Haber, man.
Shout out to Haber, man, because that was like a DJ Khaled move of like people in the city, like how he bring all those artists together. If you look at all the cameos in that video, you like, wow, this dude really brought everybody together, man. And so the whole ego thing, like, I never really got into it, and I say this like humbly, especially with me and B, man. A lot of people know us, man, from just we haven't even been as consistent as we could. We got a lot of skits and material left on the table.
Hey, you know what?
Even done.
During Brian's interview, he said he was telling me about how much material he had, and then unfortunately something happened that made him so he can't access his stuff or whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, yes, B Page got
you got
caught up in the.
Watch episode 10, by the way. Watch Brian's episode because he talked about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Be careful who you have around you, by the way.
B got caught up in that thin line between love and hate. I'm putting you out there, B. He got caught up in that thin line between love and hate. Took his Instagram. But see, listen, that's a skit right there. That's really true. Like, we can literally write, like, look at the storyline for a thin line between love and hate, and that's how we. If you look at me and B's like old skits, that's literally what we did. Yeah. We took like relevant black like films and we would flip them into like something relevant to Instagram. Yeah. I'll give you an example. Our first skit we ever did together. Remember that Will Smith scene? That Will Smith and Uncle Phil scene when he was like, "Oh yeah, how come he don't want?" That was me and B's very first skit. He was like, we're
talking about where are you finding clothes for that stuff? Because like, man, I'm wondering where y'all.
It was like, man, it was random. Like we were just pulled out. It was just like random. Like how can I look like an old big dude? Then I had a cardigan zip up or something crazy. And so me and B that first skit because he was like, how come he don't want me, man? And like he was like, how come he won't follow me, man? He was like, and you know, he had this little, like Will Smith had this little, like, statue or something. And he was like, I wish I would have spent my money on this stupid gift. Mm-hmm. And like, B was like, I would have just saved my money on this stupid selfie stick. You know what I'm saying? So we really took a lot of different things. So something like that. So I'm pretty sure, like, if B wanted to, we could literally do a skit about somebody a girl hacking into his account, like on the thin line between love and hate, like that whole thing. That would be easy. But that was the premise of all of our skits back then. Was a really like we did Paid in Full. Like
we
Paid
in Full. That's my favorite.
New Hack City. That was based off New Jack City. We did that scene where he was like, "What happened?" You know, came in the room, everybody, bro. Like so that's just. Me and B, bro, it's like name a better duo. But to your point and your question, like that, you know, the collaborative part is definitely something that would be so. It would be so made. I think like not only could ego get in the way, but I just think styles could get in the way too. Like if I don't really rock, because there's some people who do content, and I'm like, I would love to work with you. You funny, but that ain't my style of you know how I do it. Especially as you get older and you grow, it's like right. I can't get down like that no more. You know.
Yeah, no, I feel that, and I mean. Yeah. And like I said, I think it's fair or just something that could be said that, like you said, if your style is like, how can I say this? Because even what happens with us, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone wants to collaborate, and it's not no shade to anybody as far as that. Right. Once again, it won't mesh well or whatnot, and it's not because this, that, or the other. Just like you do in that lane, we do in our lane or whatnot.
For sure.
And I think that the maturity piece comes to it also because
absolutely
there's no shade on you or whatnot.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I feel that. Okay, Absolutely. so and once again, by the way, that's a great skit. By the way, Because by the way, y'all, I was in the skit for Brian. We did the 5 heartbeats, but instead of the 5 heartbeats, we did the barber one.
Hey,
barber.
I don't even think I told B. B probably on his live. That's one of the coldest skits he did, bro. Like, B been in his bag on skits. Like, my favorite BTD skits is probably when he did Dragonfly Jones, Pinky.
Oh yeah.
When he was like Pinky, when he did the Paid in Full joint and that 5 heartbeats. They're my favorites, man. They're my favorite. Yeah, that 5 heartbeat. Yeah, y'all, bro. That's one of my favorites.
Hey, listen, Brian had called me like saying that he said I need somebody light skinned. I said, bet I'm already there. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody tall, light skinned. You know, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll be there and whatnot. But the reason why I say that because like. The fact that Brian had a whole script, he was directing all that good stuff,
bro.
And this is what I mean, and I want to take nothing from content creators because like I want everybody to think that it's an easy thing that's done because we took I don't know how many takes we took. We took like 12, 14, like 15 takes or whatnot. I'm thinking one Drake, one take Drake. Drake. It was not that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And it was, once again, angles. Brian's like, all right, let's do that one more time. I'm like, oh, man, I didn't think it went in. I didn't know what all went into that. So explain to people what goes into creating.
Man, I think one thing, too, man, I think me and B doing skits, filming skits, is a show alone. When people had, like, it's been very few skits where, like, people would pull up and just be behind the scenes, like watching and just enjoying the process. The process is the best part. Like, even though like what you talking about is like getting different angles and aligning the audio with different shots and stuff like that. And it could be, sometimes like one of the halts with me and B is like, trying to do everything so perfect. And this guy's that's shooting off the phone, that's just doing it and consistent. And we trying to like be perfectionists and get it right. And I'll be like, man, that angle ain't, you know what I'm saying, or this part ain't edited out. And the people don't be caring. They just really looking at the funny, but we see it. You know what I'm saying? But the process and doing it alone is like, it's so funny because we'll have the skill set that people in actual production, like, it's words for it. And when I worked on a project like 2 years ago in Atlanta for shooting this pilot, I learned the words for this, like a treatment and like, like just different type of production, like terminology, man. And we already naturally have it, but it's like really crafting that a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But the process is, going into that, it's like we just do it so natural that sometimes I think we not over or undercompensate, that it just be like, because it could be so easy that you could overlook the craft and the process of like really actually creating. That could be like a barrier to actually creating, you know what I'm saying? So, but the process is the best part of like doing it, man. It takes so long. People see a skit that's a minute and a half, and it took us like probably like an hour and a half or something, an hour to film for like a 4-minute skit. Right, I was about to say, let's say someone 4 minutes to take 4 minutes to create. I think when we did art, it was about we was out there for like maybe an hour and a half or whatnot. It was not. Yep. And the fact he had a script though. He literally said, "Okay, did you say that?" And you said that. I'm like, "Oh man, that's crazy." Because even with me and Daz, we create content, and Daz is perfection. Y'all, by the way, shout out to my boy Daz, man. Y'all have seen the episode. He's a perfection. He's a perfectionist, bro. So what I need is you really like. It's about action. When I say action, that means like move. Like it has to be action. Is this camera from a Kingdom person? Is this Kingdom content? I need Kingdom. That's Mr. Kingdom right there, man. Shout out to my brother, Daz, man. That's my brother, man. I love Daz. Oh man, but no. But I remember we would do takes at the takes. Like I remember one where we was because he's helping make a commercial, like make a skit for being a risk agent, right? And I was doing the. Not your average agent, where I would knock people's door with the card, right? Right. So he come down the stairs, and I'm knocking the door. I'm holding my car upside down, all this craziness, right? We do that take like literally like 15 times, and Dad's like, "No, yo, knock harder, knock harder, not your knock is too light." I'm like, "Man, how better more can I knock?" Or whatnot? That sound like Daz, too, right? That's Daz, man. That's Daz, man. But I mean, content is like, it's not an easy business or whatnot. So let me ask you this. So what would you recommend to someone who's trying to create content? What would you recommend? What's not even saying what mindset they should have, obviously, but what would you recommend to someone who's watching this and say, okay, I want to create content? What would you recommend they need to start with? Man, the thing I would recommend for myself, be consistent and put it out there. Stop second guessing you know what I'm saying? Like, stop second guessing the material. Like everything, like it's been very few skits where I could think about, oh, it didn't do this or it didn't do that, but it was a banger. It was funny. People liked it or they loved it. Like, yo, that's so funny. It had been times I post something, dragging my butt on posting it. B be like, man, and this is before like IG changed algorithms where you can collab and do all this stuff. So he'll post it on his page, I post it on my page. Or you can only get a minute, and you can only post this and not a reel, and you know all of that. But man, consistency, man, putting it out there, like and really just putting it out there. Like B, what I respect about B, putting something like he'll drop something like every day or every other day if he can. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's being consistent. And the second thing is I would say don't get married to the metrics. Like, don't get married.
I heard that.
Hey, now hold on, brother. Now I'm about not yet, man, not yet. But no, but like, don't get married to the metrics, man. I think people looking at this person got this many followers, or dang, this skit. I got caught up in that too. Sometimes, like, man, this skit ain't do what I want, but we put it out there. It's funny. Some people going back and look at old stuff, man. Not getting married to the metrics. You're like, man, this skit ain't do numbers, and then Instagram is like promoting that part too. Like you can hide likes and stuff like that too. And I get it, but it's like it did what it did. Somebody gonna love it. This was a joke. This was a joke. It wasn't a lot of people on that live. Man, we done sold over hundreds and hundreds of hoodies and set. You know what I'm saying? It was probably like, you know, we did numbers on the live, but like we wasn't paying attention to that. We were just consistent with the content, and it made us thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, man, don't get married to the metrics, man. Just be consistent and be and work on that, on the craft. Fall in love with the process of it. I like, even though I'm not as consistent with like putting out material and stuff like that too, I love the process. I love just doing it. We talk about, man, a skit like that, like it's so much we ain't got left on the table. There's so many skits that we got left on the table that we ain't even put it out there, man. Like,
So I do want to get into this because, like, one of the things that you got to appreciate about you, bro, is this brand. This is dope. You know what I'm saying? From the colors to what it stands for. Where did that stand from? You say it started as a joke, but I'm pretty sure. When did it become to, all right, let's shoot it out there to the people?
Yeah, for sure. That it was a joke in the moment that took it to a movement, man. Like that really, it was just like something. I wasn't even thinking like that. If somebody would have told me that Hov would sell clothing, I was like, I wasn't even thinking about that. Like, I was just like, it was a joke. It was something I was like we would bring people up on the live or like some of their stuff, and it like in the conscious Q phase, me and B would be on live and like pull up somebody in the city, or somebody would send us somebody like, look at this person with somebody white or something, like, and they'd be like, now look at this brother. Love the brother, but he's sitting up here showing all 32 of his teeth with white folk, you know, something like that. But it turned and honestly, man, like that's even the same thing back with like kind of with stand up. It was like really having a responsibility. Like you have a responsibility, and so with this platform, just really recognizing the responsibility. One of I would say one of the interviews that changed the trajectory of like the lives for me with Conscious Q was like when I did the Bashir interview. It was that really showed me like, man, people are really listening. They're really responding. They're interested, and it's not just like funny, but it was like it can be informative. So now it's like we have a responsibility with that platform, and just even love like the whole essence of it. Of love the brother, love the sister became just about we pulling people up, and how we always ended it. Me and B was like, we'd say something dope about them, because like any DJ, socialite, artist in the city, they came through that live, and that's not even me exaggerating. Any of them that you can think of, they came to that live. We pulled them up on the live, and it was just love, and just people who just been rocking with us for a minute. It wasn't just about them, but they kind of helped take the platform to another level when they were sharing it and coming up on the live and whatnot. But it was just all love. That's where it came from. Like, that's what it's about, love. And like now we looking at to kind of like taking it to another level on how we spread that love. That's through merch, the brand. That's really the movement. And then also how we're going to be doing like a little bit of programming. I'm talking literally me and Dad's working on that too. Like I got to send him some stuff, but yeah, we working on how we can expound on that movement with love, man. I'm talking about empowering people. If it's empowering fathers, empowering ex-felons, people who are looking to, you know, integrate them back into the workforce, on the mental health, behavioral health for kids, school-based services, like all of that stuff, community activism, like all of that stuff, man. Stuff that he was already doing, but now you can actually use this platform to push it even further.
Yeah, if one thing Dad's gonna do, he gonna push
so
it to purpose.
Now let me ask you this. Love the hoodie, love the brother, but now, like, how can you take this to another level? And
I'll be watching this, Dad's, man,
with action. You feel me? Like, I could do with this, like, how can you feed people to feed? Your voice get deeper as you talk. How can you feed people to feed people? Like,
it's a hand move, y'all.
Yeah, how can you feed people to feed people? Yeah.
No, that's what's up, man. Yeah. And once again, like I said, I love stuff that has a message and whatnot, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, obviously the clothes you wear is you're marketing certain things. Whether you believe it or not, when you're wearing Gucci, you marketing Gucci. When you're marketing Louis Vuitton, you're marketing Louis Vuitton.
For sure.
But to wear a brand that, one, embodies what I want to do, and then on top of that, it's a positive affirmation for those who look like me. I think it's dope, bro.
I appreciate that, man. Definitely. And I even was saying that too, man, because like, one thing B challenged me on was selling it, because he like, damn, you damn near trying to give it away, man. Like, he's like, man, he want to sell it, like, for even just the numbers. I'm like, no, I don't want to charge too much. And like, bro, like, people spending the brands you just named, people who they don't know, they can't touch, they can't call, they don't have no access to, that don't have a message. You know what I'm saying? They spending all this money for that. Like, man, charge what you gonna, you know what I'm saying? So, come, and they love it, they support it. Some people, like I was talking to somebody yesterday, and it was just like, some people who had never been on the live, you know, they just like, bro, I just like the design. And it'd just be some people be like, yo, I just want to support you. I don't know where they even came from. And there's people that know about it, because now it's like a family of some exclusivity in there too, right? And it's like people who be like, man, I see other people wearing it, so now I want to get in. You know what I'm saying? How can I get involved in that?
So it's funny you said it, because I seen Dazzle his.
Yeah.
I seen Ari hers. I'm like, you know what? I gotta get in this gang. You know what I'm saying? But you know, what
yeah.
But like I said, but I feel like now you can identify. Okay, you got it too. You got it too. You know what I'm saying? And we all got the same. The same mindset. So that's dope, bro.
Yeah. B says, this black on wine?
Of course it is.
It's black on wine. Cheers to you, brother. It's Blackberry Merlot, by the way. I'm not gonna tell you. First of all, now B done got it started. Okay? When I walk in the door, brother, the brother offered me some white wine. Okay? Now we here. Okay? They told me to pull up. The good brother is here. This is what the people actually wanted, if we being for real. Now I got a question for you, brother. I got a bone to pick with you, brother.
Yes, sir.
So you do what by profession, brother?
I sell real estate.
You sell real estate. That's housing, right?
Yes, sir.
You in the housing game?
Yes, sir.
When you do you show people houses? Do they get to view houses?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you call the biggest room, the biggest bedroom in the house?
The living room.
No, brother. The biggest bedroom. What's the biggest bedroom?
The master bedroom.
The master bedroom? Where's the slave quarters? Okay? Think about it. The master bedroom?
And you know what we gotta talk about?
Wow.
We gotta talk about you and Dr. Umar, man, because that, when I seen that, I'm like, that is the best team up of all time, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. The people always talking about, oh, he met Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar met me. All right? Okay?
And let me ask you, because even with that character, bro, like that like when you see when we see the videos of you reacting to certain videos, man, this is dope content.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think so when you think about, like, people was like, where that conscious Q character come from. We did a skit 2017, and what people don't know is the origins of that character was really based off of a conscious contradictor. He can be easily flipped. Like, people don't know, like, the origins of Conscious Q, I would say he's a culmination of Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, like just the cadence in his voice and how he go off and all like that. Oswald Bates, people, if you watch In Living Color.
Okay, yeah.
Oswald Bates, Umar Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Any type of like woke like figure that you can kind of think of as little bits and pieces of that. But it was the origins of that character is like he could. It's really the message behind that character is really originally was showing how fickle people are and how easy they can be flipped. We did a skit. The first skit Conscious Q had was the first skit I had as Conscious Q was during 2017 when everybody was kneeling and boycotting the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so he's like standing in mode. I'm gonna stand firmly and deeply rooted in the cause. And then my boy came out offering like free tickets, get to meet the coach, free food, and he just flipped. You know what I'm saying? And so like, it's really just to show how fickle people are and how easily we can be swayed by something and how it goes. Because everybody watching NFL now, we was just in outrage. Nothing changed. Didn't come back. And we all love it like, you know what I'm saying, Super Bowl party.
Super Bowl parties, right.
It's just fickle. Everything can be, you know, ain't nobody, and I'm talking about all of that woke movement, the hotel stuff like that. Everybody has a price in that regard to be flipped, and everybody is contradictory in some way and some of their stances when it comes to stuff like that. So even, you know, So
no, I feel that. Okay, all right. So we talked about the concept. We talked about how to go about it.
Rick on you. He said a random shoulder.
Hey, Rick, you ready to come on the podcast?
Yeah, this is a black podcast. Brother Ricky ain't coming on here. Ricky ain't coming. That brother is raking in endorsements, brother. No, that's my guy, man. I love Rick, man.
That's what's up, man.
He's been showing support for a long time.
No, I appreciate it. So we talked about the content. We talked about the brand. What's next up, bro? Because I know you said you work with dads in a nonprofit space and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure, man. And really, like I was telling you about empowerment, really being responsible with that platform, man. And I'm, you know, working with the schools because, like, even as a profession, you know, I'm an educator and I work in the behavioral mental health field for kids as a school-based service director. And so just putting therapists at different schools and having an after-school program and exposing them to different things. But when I look at it, like I've been in the schools the last 9 years, and when I look at the stuff that I've done as like a family support specialist, a linkage coordinator, as a dean of engagement, and all these different roles and titles that I had, like my heart has always been in empowering that demographic and, you know, where I came from, where I grew up and all of that. So now using this platform really to empower people, working and collaborating with other organizations, with businesses and nonprofits to really push that. Like I was telling dads, you know, how I wanted to do that. And that was like when we put on program, I'll give you an example, like donuts with dads. You know, they do that with school, like muffins with moms and stuff like that. And that's great. But when you empowering people, it's more than just giving them fish, but showing them how to fish. So now we thinking like seminars. How can we get them to pay for someone's HVAC training, someone's CDL training, somebody to, you know, we can do expungement clinics and, you know, like a one-stop shop or multiple stop shops in different areas to just really empower fathers, because when they feel empowered and you teaching people how to fish, they're less likely to want to have to, you know, lean on what you got and just take what you got. And like, we want them to go get it for themselves and empower them to get it for themselves. Because when you're empowering fathers, men, women, parents, single parents, period, you know, you're empowering communities, you know? So, yeah.
No, that's good stuff right there, bro. Yeah. So, and one, I can see that happening for you because you got the heart for it. Not only that, but you got the mindset for it. And I think that's dope, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely.
So, okay. So we talked about the past, talked about the present, talked about the future. All right. So, and this is what I ask all our guests. We have several questions on the pull up here, and one of the questions that I ask every guest, because once again, when you've been in Cleveland in life, I've been in Cleveland in my life. Unfortunately, in our city, we have the unfortunate stigma of not coming together, right? Yeah. But you are a perfect example of what happens when you do come together and what you have to accomplish. How do you think we can do that as a whole, as a city?
Man, I think definitely getting behind people who are already doing the work. Because when you don't have hubs and spaces or create spaces that, you know, everybody's coming together like this, like people who your platform, when you think about your platform or anybody who has like a different, it's, you know, Cleveland is the non-profit hub, like for sure. It's everybody's doing, and it's not necessarily that, it's not that it's unnecessary, but I think sometimes it's harder to push that wagon when you know, I thought I was about to say something deep right there, but I lost my thought. But my point is just like, that when you have people who are already, so many people are doing it, when you're not in that space, somebody's already doing what you're doing, basically. Yeah. But why not just get behind those people and be stronger together in that aspect and trying to like because one people don't know that what you got going on in South Euclid or in the Glenville area is the same as in Fairfax. It's like, dang, we doing some of the same things. And sometimes what you see for real in Cleveland, it's like you see people like, oh, well, it's a program for young girls. And it's like, well, I got a program for young girls and we don't really do it. But you like, where's the heart at it? Where's the motive? Because you're serving young girls. Let's collaborate. Let's collaborate and put our resources together to really like take it even further. Now we serving multiple communities instead of just one school or one demographic of girls. Now you can serve West Side, East Side, this community, that community, when you have people who have the same heart to do something, but it's like you feel like there's so much scarcity, and it's like, oh, where opportunities are so scarce, and it's like, but collaborative efforts, man, that makes it makes it golden. So like even when talking to dads and like looking at at things that's like, look, you already got this going on. Love the Brothers doing this too. We don't have to do it separately. We can do it together. Yeah, and I don't care who get the credit. Like that same thing, like that mindset that me and B got when we doing a skit. Like it could be something like, yo, like, you know, something that was a funny line or something like, dude, this dude, B funny is like, I said something cute, yo, conscious cute, bro. When you said da 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 da, it could be like, man, B wrote that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it ain't about the credit. You don't care about the credit. It's like, that's the collab. Like, we both gonna shine. Right. And it ain't even about the shine. It's about the content. Like, when you really have a heart for what you do. And so how that relates to service, it's like, we care about, the product is the content that we create. The service is like the message and the activism that we doing through a nonprofit. That's only that matters. Who's being served is the only thing that matters. Ooh. So I don't care who get the credit for it. If it's pull up podcast, if it's the pull down podcast, if it's the pull sideways, it's like whoever's being served and they're elevating those voices. Yeah. That's who I want to work with. You know what I'm saying,
bro?
So
I think. So we were sitting here. Me and the team, we're talking about how we feel like it's the tide changing with every generation, because, you know what I'm saying, our parents, you know what I'm saying, they carry everything to the chest, you know what I'm saying, information, resources, all that good stuff. But now we are, our generation, we like, hey, listen, let's collaborate. Hey, I got this resource over here, let me bring it over to you. When I feel like the tide is changing in far that retrospect. Our kids, I feel like they're more on the collaborative effort or whatnot nowadays. Right. And so I feel like it's getting better each generation.
I think so, and I think each generation, because sometimes now getting better with each generation is all about perspective. Some people would tell you where they live at, it's like, oh man, these kids are crazy, they ain't doing this, and I hear it all the time. Where some people who live in a different area might be like, wow, like they might feel so like hopeful, like, wow, these kids are going, or they looking on TikTok or Instagram or how these kids are operating on social media, like, man, ain't no hope for the next generation. Hey, but they were saying that, you know, the boomers, the boomers were saying that about the next generation was saying about the next generation. And so I think about is how we empower them. What you was just saying, how they were hoarding those other generations. Now it's like, I feel like our generation is the most like aware generation. I was talking to my mother about that the other day too. I'm like, oh, y'all baby boomers are just so emotionally unaware. They just have a low EQ, a low like emotional intelligence. Right now, facts. And so it's like we are the ones that are talking about mental health, generational wellness, generational curses, or generational intergenerational wealth, or all of that stuff. We're talking about like all of that stuff. And I think us getting to not really letting, and we're in the middle, right, of that generation before, and we old enough and young enough to still connect. So we have the largest responsibility to be an influence to that next generation, because so many people like give up on them. And the kids keep me hip. That next generation is what keep me hip on stuff. I wasn't even hip to whatever, and I just be like, dang, what y'all listening to? You gotta know, because how you gonna speak to them if you don't know what they're going through? Like, these kids going through some stuff, and it's like, if you don't see it, and it's like, because like I remember this guy, I was listening to a podcast, one of my favorite dudes talk on his show, on a podcast, but Tim Ross, he was talking about it's whoever.
Shout out Tim Ross, man. And by the way, thank you for adding me to the group, man.
For sure, man. So you know that's my guy, And so like I was like, man, like he was like, it's whoever gets to them first. So it's whoever gets to that next generation first, because either the world gonna get to them, and I'm talking about from a spiritual aspect. It's like the world gonna get to them if you get to them and preach that gospel, encouraging them to. And I'm talking about it from a spiritual level, but it could be on any level. Like, it's whoever gets to them first. It's whoever gets to them first, man.
No, that's good stuff right there, man. And once again, and I love what you know what I'm saying, because once again, you have the mindset, you have the heart, and also, you know what I'm saying, you have the spirit for it, man. With that, you're going to go far with that, bro.
Man, praise God. I appreciate that, man.
Okay, so I got my next question, and this is, once again, a question I ask everybody. Legacy, you know what I'm saying? I know it's one of those words like generational wealth, but one of the things I think that we don't do enough of is talk about it as far as in ourselves and whatnot. So this is my selfish thing with this podcast. I want to be able to look back when we look in 10, 20 years from now, and I'm like, man, he was on the pull up, and he said what he said this is legacy, and look, he accomplished that thing. Yeah. So what do you want your legacy to be for you as an individual, and then for your overall, for your businesses and everything that's connected to you?
As an individual, is how did I use my influence? How was I seen as a light in certain spaces to influence people ultimately, to bring them to Christ? You know what I'm saying? That's just me being real as a believer and just knowing where I come from.
Right.
From that, I influence people to, come to certain things, or if it's an event or be in a fraternity, like, can you use that same gift that same gap to bring people to Christ? That's more, I would say, as an individual, that's more important. How I do that, using my gifts or talents or whatever, as a seed planter, or as like a, you know what I'm saying, or just like as a hook, like not a bait, like I'm trying to sell something, right? Because that's not, we just here to plant seeds.
Right.
But and overall, I would definitely say that how many people were empowered because they came across me, like, in using whether that's using my talent to make them laugh or draw them in, or my gift of how I speak, because when I talk, people listen, or when I talk, people laugh and listen. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like really honing in and like directing that. But how many people were empowered because they came across, they had an encounter with me? You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So how many people felt empowered by that encounter?
That's good.
Yeah,
I think that's the best one I heard thus far. Because most people are not saying it's self-serving, but
it's
your legacy.
For
but
sure.
That's a great one, man.
Word, yeah, man.
Okay. So you have been dropping dimes left and right, man. Thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, I get a chance to even hit it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, dang, he's going.
No, I was playing.
But it's been good stuff, man. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, and I say all the time on the podcast, but I think the mark of any good interview was be able to get some pointers and whatnot, get takeaways. What are 3 things you want somebody to watch this interview to take away from the interview tonight?
Take away from it, man. Man, I would definitely say stop. I'm reading this book too, and it's not stealing, but it's really what I'm walking through right now. So it's applicable to me. But also, man, stop waiting on permission.
Ooh.
Man, stop waiting on permission, man.
That's a good one.
Stop waiting on permission, like to really, to be called who you called to be, man. Who God is calling you to be, man. You waiting on permission, like I think a lot of times, and I'm speaking for myself, we get caught up in like, man, what about this? Or like, is they gonna like this? Or is this program gonna pop off? Or is this gonna be? It's like who? Where's my identity?
Yeah,
that's like an identity thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's like really not waiting on permission from anybody else to do what you already know is in you to be great, man. I think like, because you had that potential, and I don't want to walk or be just, I don't want to die with my potential. It's like it be sometimes like I'll be like, man, I ain't really scared of death because I know where I'm going. It's like I'm scared of not living. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm scared of not living, man. For real, I'm scared of not living, man. 3 things.
So I'm gonna say we talked about a good amount of things tonight.
Yeah. 3. Another thing, man. I would say one more. We said 3. I only gave 1, right?
No, but that's good. It's a good one.
But yeah, no, I would say, man, and do it, man. Do it. I'm stealing from Nike. Just do it. No, just do it for real though. But the reason why I said that is because like I be overanalyzing stuff. Me and B talked. This is like one of the last real conversations we had. Just being paralyzed by overanalyzing. It's like, man, just do it, man.
What they call it, paralysis analysis?
Yeah. Like if you scared, you fearful, man, just like do it scared. You know what I'm saying? And like put it out there. Do it scared, but just do it. Like just do it like and put it out, man, putting it out there. Whatever it is. Somebody is good at something and they scared about what people gonna think about it. And it's like, man, just do it. Everybody getting, we looking at metrics or we comparing ourselves to other people. So that could be the 3rd thing, is to run your own race, man. Ooh. Really run your own race. If I compare, what I ain't doing to the next person or this person or, whatever, whoever's hot on Instagram and doing skits or Umar Johnson or somebody else that like did a conscious Hotep type of character, it's like, well, he got 125,000 followers and I only got 3,000. It's like, man, I'm in my own lane. I'm watching my own race. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm focused on the people who rocking with me. They buying hoodies. They tapping in with our content. Yeah, it ain't got, I ain't got a lot of followers, but I have a following and that's different.
And
you know what I'm saying?
You make
it's
an impact
different.
With that though.
For sure. For sure.
And then go back to the faces thing, because I know dads make fun of me. He said all the time, because we'll make content, and I'll put it out. I won't even edit. I'll be like, man, throw it out there. Right? Man, come on, man. What about?
You got to edit that. right. Is that really? Are you really walking in purpose and dominion if you don't edit?
But you know what I'm saying. But I feel like it's a nice balance, because he the perfectionist. I'm the one like, hey, let's put it out there. I'm like you, like, hey. Let's put it out there. Put it for people.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
it was like, oh, this angle, like, why didn't you edit that part out? Like, it's like, yeah. Definitely.
There's gotta be a balance in it too.
For sure.
So I feel that though. Listen, man, I appreciate the interview, man. And like I said, it was a long time coming, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm appreciative, man.
So, question: where can the people reach you at, man?
Man, Quameen V at Instagram. I changed my name on there, man. And that's really where I be at, man. I'm on Twitter. I see you got jokes. That's like the original one. On Twitter, I don't really be on there that much. I might get a TikTok, man, and really strictly make it for Conscious Q only, just that. But I've been thinking about that as well. Like, I'll be talking to B about it, but I'll be thinking about getting a TikTok, man, and just really seeing.
I think that would really go, bro.
Yeah, man. But that's that. But I have to give up something in order to do that. So it might be Facebook, it might be Twitter, because I can't be all like falling into doom scrolling. Like, nah, man. So yeah, man.
And then, by the way, so y'all can get these great hoodies and whatnot. We'll have it all in the show notes, by the way, so y'all can get them. Because hey, listen, limited supply, man. These are selling out fast.
Yeah, man. They definitely the black on black. The black, we call these the blackity black. The blackity blacks. They they going, man. I got a little restock coming in. Today Tuesday. It'll be here on Thursday. Okay. Get them while they last. The last few days. Black History Month, it's the last day of Black History Month, but we black all year, okay? All right? We black all year. We going into melanated March. All right? We going into melanated March. We still got the blackity blacks. Okay? Yeah.
Man, listen, I appreciate you, bro.
For sure,
once
man.
again, I thank you, man. And once again, small. It's such a big. It's a big city, but it's a small town, man. Like I said, this is because once again, you meet different people and be like, oh man, well, you know what I'm saying? You can get so easily, man. So appreciate you, bro.
For sure.
And once again, so I got to pay some bills, y'all. So guys, once again, we thank y'all for coming out every week, showing up, watching every week. We average about 1,000 to 2,000 views every week, man. And so crazy. We need more people from Cleveland to watch it. What's crazy? A good portion of our demographic ain't even from Cleveland, y'all.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So let's stand behind something that's bigging up our people in our city, y'all.
That's dope.
Next up, guys. Also, March 12th, Sunday, 2:00. We are at the 4B show, guys. We are having speed networking. Once again, we created this out of, because we're all introverts. Amazingly, everyone on the team are introverts, right? And we said, how can we network people but not suffer from social anxiety, right? So what we do, we have 4 minutes in all. 2 minutes for you, 2 minutes for the person across from you. You feeling the person? Cool. Afterwards, y'all meet up, exchange cards. Not cool. There's no skin off your nose and whatnot. It helps. If you're extrovert, introvert, it doesn't matter. You have a business. Maybe you have a business. Maybe you don't have a business. Maybe you look for a mentor. Maybe you're looking for just a like-minded community. This is a place for it, guys. So do me a favor. Click the link in the bio. Get your tickets now. They're only $5, guys. $5 for an investment for your potential future business partner or your future business partner. You can't beat it, Once again, you'll be supporting Black Business because the 4 is our second home, as y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? Lastly, I want to thank everyone who came out to our Brothers Keeper Men's Summit. It was great, y'all. We had about 40 men come out, and we literally, like Q was saying earlier, we talked about mental health and whatnot. And it was great to have all these men come out and talk about some of the anguish they were going through and realize what trauma was. I didn't realize how many of us didn't know what trauma even was. We just went about our life just thinking that was supposed to happen. How growing up, you told not to cry, right? Or you told not to show emotion. But that's what exactly. So your feelings and whatnot. And amazing enough, God made emotions for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So suppressing them, all you're doing is just bottling those emotions up. They got to go somewhere. And unfortunately, that manifests to actual physical ailments. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So it was good, y'all. So do me a favor. We're going to have the one next month. If you missed the last one, that's cool. Come out to the next one, all right? Yeah. And then lastly, guys, I can't thank y'all enough for whatnot. Unfortunately, Nakia and Marquis weren't here tonight, but they were here in spirit. You know what I'm saying? Keep them in your prayers. They weren't feeling too good. But once again, we want to thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. This is episode, I think like episode 105, bro.
Okay, there it is.
You know what
I lived on 105.
Yeah, 105. You know what I'm saying? So good times or whatnot. So dope. Once again, guys, you guys want to get connected to Q, we'll have all the information in the bio or inside our show notes. And listen, we thank y'all again, y'all. Peace until next time, all right?
That's what's up, man.
It's going on, everybody. It's your boy, Not Your Average Agent.
And if you feel yourself overwhelmed, stressed, just complacent in your business, I got a solution for you. Check out my girl, Beneficial Babe. If you find yourself with help with automation, creating systems, helping with just overall funnels with your merchandise and products, she's the person you want to talk to. So do yourself a favor and take your business to the next level. Check out my girl, Beneficial Babe, today.